Welcome to our German lesson. Today, we're diving into vacation planning, a topic that resonates with everyone. We'll tackle two important grammatical structures, wollen to want and werden will. It's vital to see how these differ from English tenses. Get ready to share your dream holiday. Guten Tag, everyone. Welcome back. Let's quickly refresh our memories. We've already learned.
Die Schule,
That's the school,
ihr Haus,
the park,
das Restaurant,
the restaurant,
die Bibliothek,
the library, and
die Apotheke.
the pharmacy. Remember, we also learned
Lesen,
to read,
spielen,
to play, and
reisen.
to travel. Today's lesson will build directly on these words, so let's dive in.
Die Schule ist neben dem Park. Die Schule ist neben dem Park.
Ich gehe zum Park. Ich gehe zum Park.
Ich möchte nach Italien reisen. Ich möchte nach Italien reisen.
Wir werden Berlin besuchen. Wir werden Berlin besuchen.
Let's kick things off with wollen. Emily mentioned.
Ich möchte nach Italien reisen.
This translates to I want to travel to Italy. Notice the merged form, which is a polite way of saying wollen.
Wann?
Conveys your desires or intentions. Think of it like wanting something. It's about your personal choice, not just events you can't control. And remember to pronounce the soft H sound in.
Wir wohnen in der Stadt. Wir wohnen in der Stadt.
Great job, Emily asked.
Wo wohnen Sie?
Which means where do you live? Notice wo for where. James responded with,
Wir wohnen in der Stadt.
meaning we live in the city. Remember die Stadt is the city, always paired with die. We also used wohnen meaning to live. Focus on these combinations to avoid common mistakes.
Das Hotel ist sehr schön. Das Hotel ist sehr schön.
Wollen Sie ein Hotel buchen? Wollen Sie ein Hotel buchen?
Here, Emily described the hotel as
Das Hotel ist sehr schön.
translates to nice. Sehr means very, making it really nice. Don't forget the article. For hotel, James then used,
Wollen Sie ein Hotel buchen?
which perfectly demonstrates how to use wollen to ask about someone's plans.
Ja, ich möchte ein Zimmer buchen. Ja, ich möchte ein Zimmer buchen.
Wir werden ein großes Zimmer haben. Wir werden ein großes Zimmer haben.
In this case, James said,
Wir werden ein großes Zimmer haben.
meaning we will have a big room. Notice how werden indicates future actions, showcasing a planned event. It's not just about a personal wish but a statement of fact. Remember to conjugate werden accurately. A common mistake is forgetting the correct form for words.
Werden? Ich plane meinen Urlaub. Ich plane meinen Urlaub.
Emily mentioned,
Ich plane meinen Urlaub.
meaning I am planning my vacation. This is a fantastic example of mixing the vocabulary we've learned with the grammar. James' simple reply
Das ist gut.
shows a solid understanding of basic conversational phrases. Remember to use wollen for wishes and werden for scheduled events.
Wie lange dauert der Urlaub? Wie lange dauert der Urlaub?
Er dauert 2 Wochen. Er dauert 2 Wochen.
Now, let's move on to expressing preferences within the vacation plans. We'll practice asking questions to understand what someone specifically wants to do rather than just where they want to go. Think about details. What kind of activities are they interested in? This will use möchten again, showing a desire, and help build more complex sentence structures for expressing nuanced travel desires.
Möchten Sie lieber eine Stadt oder das Land besuchen? Möchten Sie lieber eine Stadt oder das Land besuchen?
Excellent. Notice how
Wie-
means rather or prefer. It's a very useful word when trying to understand someone's preferences. The question structure is also important, using sei for formality when addressing someone you don't know well. Remember, möchten expresses a desire, not a definite plan. It's about what they would like to do.
Ich möchte lieber das Land besuchen. Es ist ruhiger. Ich möchte lieber das Land besuchen. Es ist ruhiger.
Very good
Ruhiger.
is the comparative form of ruhig, meaning quiet or peaceful. Using comparatives like this adds detail and expressiveness to your descriptions. James is explaining why he prefers the countryside, the tranquility of it. This moves beyond simply stating preference to giving a reason.
Was möchten Sie dort machen? Was möchten Sie dort machen?
Today, we'll focus on prepositions of location, in, auf, unter, neben, and vor. These words are crucial for describing where things are, which is particularly important when discussing travel destinations and activities. We'll practice using these with places like in der Stadt in the city or auf dem Berg on the mountain. Pay close attention to the grammatical cases that follow each preposition. This is a common area of confusion for learners.
Ich möchte im Hotel schwimmen. Ich möchte im Hotel schwimmen.
Excellent. Notice how im is a contraction of in dem. The preposition in governs the dative case. Therefore, the article der changes to dem. Remember that many prepositions require a specific grammatical case. We'll be drilling this further, so it's important to memorize which prepositions take which case. This will dramatically improve your sentence construction.
Wo ist der Bahnhof? Wo ist der Bahnhof?
Good question, James. The word order here is typical for wo questions. Wo comes first, followed by the verb ist, and then the subject der Bahnhof. We don't use a question word like why because we're asking about location, not a description. Consider it as an integral part of the question. It doesn't require special inversion rules like other questions.
Das Restaurant ist neben dem Museum. Das Restaurant ist neben dem Museum.
Today's focus is on adjective agreement. In German, adjectives must agree with the noun they describe in gender, number, and case. This can be tricky, but it's essential for grammatically correct sentences. We'll be looking at how to modify adjectives when describing vacation destinations, like saying a beautiful city or a quiet beach. Pay close attention to the definite articles and the case being used.
Ich möchte ein ruhiges Hotel in der Nähe des Strandes. Ich möchte ein ruhiges Hotel in der Nähe des Strandes.
Excellent, Emily. Notice how ruhiges changes to match hotel. Since hotel is masculine and in the accusative case because it's the direct object of möcht, the adjective becomes ruhiges. Similarly, in der Nähe des Strands uses the genitive case, again showing how case influences adjective endings. These agreements can be challenging to remember, but recognizing the gender and case is key.
Gibt es ein schönes Museum in der Stadt? Gibt es ein schönes Museum in der Stadt?
Good question, Tom. To ask is there or does there exist in German, you often use the conjunction ob followed by a question. However, in this specific example, gibt es functions like is there and doesn't require ob. We'll delve deeper into ob later. For now, focusing on the construction gibt es is a good start to asking about the existence of something. It's a very common and useful phrase.
Wie viel kostet ein Ticket für das Museum? Wie viel kostet ein Ticket für das Museum?
Perfect, Emily. When asking about price, you use the verb
Kosten.
to cost, which is a bit unusual as it's not transitive. You don't say the ticket costs, you ask how much does the ticket cost. Notice the word order, the question word wie viel how much comes first. This maintains a natural flow in German questioning patterns.
Wir werden die Stadt mit dem Bus erkunden. Wir werden die Stadt mit dem Bus erkunden.
Today, we will learn how to express specific dates for your vacation plans. This involves using the dative case for dates and understanding the structure of how dates are written and spoken in German. Pay close attention to the article dem when referring to specific dates and remember the order of day, month, and year.
Ich möchte vom 15. Juli bis zum 22. Juli reisen. Ich möchte vom 15. Juli bis zum 22. Juli reisen.
Excellent, Emily. Your sentence is perfectly constructed. Note the usage of meaning until or to. The dative case is correctly applied to the dates. A common mistake is to forget the vom and zum, which indicate from and to respectively when speaking about dates. Remember to always practice saying them aloud.
Am 1. August beginnen unsere Ferien. Am 1. August beginnen unsere Ferien.
Very good, David. The preposition
Ha,
is used before dates when they are not followed by a verb or further information. It acts as a substitute for the definite article. It also indicates that the date serves as the main topic. Note that M contracts to N before vowels. Excellent usage of this structure.
ich werde am 24. Dezember nach Hause fliegen. Ich werde am 24. Dezember nach Hause fliegen.
Today we'll be exploring different types of accommodation beyond just hotel. You'll learn phrases to inquire about alternatives such as pension guest house, Ferienwohnung holiday apartment, or even a Jugendherberge youth hostel. We'll also review the correct article usage for each, paying attention to gender. Think about why you might choose one over the other, like budget or privacy.
Ich suche eine Ferienwohnung in der Nähe des Strandes. Ich suche eine Ferienwohnung in der Nähe des Strandes.
Excellent pronunciation, Emily. Notice that
Ferienwohnung.
is feminine die. So, when you say in der Nähe, you correctly use der. It's easy to forget that the gender of a noun significantly impacts article agreement and adjective endings. Try to associate the gender with the word, perhaps imagining a female apartment.
Gibt es eine Jugendherberge in der Stadtmitte? Gibt es eine Jugendherberge in der Stadtmitte?
Very good, Ben. You've effectively constructed a question using gibt es, which is a very common way to ask, is there a member that
Jugendherberge.
is also feminine die. The sentence structure is key here.
Gibt es eine Jugendherberge in der Stadtmitte?
This pattern is highly useful when looking for anything, shops, services, activities.
Wie viel kostet eine Pension pro Nacht? Wie viel kostet eine Pension pro Nacht?
Perfect, Emily. The inclusion of
Pro Nacht.
per night is essential for clarity when discussing accommodation prices. Pro is used before nouns to indicate per or for each. Remember that
Pension.
is feminine and requires ein when asking about it. Also, note the question structure with y veal used for quantities and prices. Excellent. Here you are correctly using the preposition
Mit.
with to indicate the mode of transportation. Remember, mit governs the dative case, so you would need to adjust the article if the noun changed. Thinking about the overall meaning, or exploring using the bus, helps to recall the correct case and preposition. Perfect, Emily. Neben requires the dative case, just like in. So, you correctly used dem Museum. Think of it this way, you're describing the location of the restaurant, not its inherent nature. Mastering these seemingly small grammatical points really contributes to the fluency and accuracy of your German. Awesome job, everyone! Today we've learned how to express future plans using wollen and werden. Keep in mind the difference between desires and scheduled events. For homework, write 3 sentences about your dream vacation, 2 using wollen and 1 using werden. Practice the pronunciation of
Werd.
and be mindful of article usage. Viel Glück. Okay, everyone, great work today. We covered expressing future plans using both
Wollen.
and
Werden.
and we practiced asking and answering questions about vacation destinations. Let's do a quick recap quiz to solidify everything. Alright, quiz time. First question. What is Emily's main desire for her vacation? Is it to visit Berlin, to travel to Italy, or to stay in a youth hostel? The correct answer is to travel to Italy. Emily mentioned she really wants to see the Italian countryside. Next up, what grammatical structure does James use to describe his planned trip to Berlin? Is it
Wollen. Werden.
or both? It's
Werden.
Exclamation James is using it to talk about